Hello everybody, it's Denise Roberts here with another tip from the painless prospecting system. So let me share with you something I believe first. I believe that there are tons of missed opportunities on a regular basis, all because of people's inability to successfully reach out to and connect with others. So today's tip, we're going to talk about the first part of that equation. How do you successfully reach out to someone who doesn't know you? All right, so if you're calling someone for the first time, you have a very high probability of getting their voicemail. So how do you get them to call you back? How do you go from being a pest to an invited guest? Well, we have a 6-step formula called how to create a compelling self-introduction. So you want to leave a message that has people want to call you back. And it's a 6-step formula, and let me quickly go through the steps, and I'm going to focus on a couple of them in particular. So first of all, rather than just, hey, it's Denise Roberts, I'm from XYZ company, and the reason I'm calling is blah, 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 and please call me back, my number is da-da-da-da-da. Beep, they're going to delete you. All right, so now if I use these 6 steps, for how long have you been doing what you've been doing? How many people have you been doing it for? Which gives you credibility in their target market. All right, so this is the easy part. These are the basics. Now, this is where it gets more interesting. The first thing you want to start to address is, what problem do you solve? So if you look at life from the eyes of that person, what's important to them? Now, let me connect that dot to a book called Selling to Veto. Wonderful book. And VETO is an acronym, and it stands for Very Important Top Officer. So there are 4 things that are always top of mind for every veto. As a matter of fact, it usually keeps them up at night. And they are in this order, literally. The first one is, how do they increase their revenues or exceed their plans? How do they increase their effectiveness and their efficiencies? How do they contain cost? And last, how do they stay compliant? Now, I'm going to challenge each of you with, somewhere in here, your product or service solves at least one of these problems, if not multiples. So if we go back to this, now what you do is you say, when you start to, we've done this for however long, what problem do you solve? Now you tell a story that connects the dot back to that problem, and then you ask a closing question. So let me give you an example of one. In one of our workshops, in every workshop, I always ask for a volunteer to come up and work with us on this. And one of the people that came up volunteered, and he gave his first introduction, and then we pulled the audience by a show of hands. How many of you are compelled to want to know more or would delete this message? Well, nobody wanted to know more, and everybody pretty much agreed to delete it. So then we took him through this formula, and I said, okay, so how long has your company been doing what it's doing? And he said, for over 40 years. Great. And how many in your target market? Well, his target market were the financial services industry. He said about 600 banks and credit unions. Okay, great. And then I asked him, what problem do you solve? Now he said, we solve multiple problems, but the one I want to focus on right now is we help generate non-interest fee income, which is literally money to the bottom line or money in the pocket of the financial institution. And then he told this story. And the story was, before he worked with this particular financial institution, they were generating about $50,000 worth of non-interest fee income. After working with them, that number went up to $850,000. That's a wow, right? And then that was just in year 1. It was a residual. Every year it would continue this process, right? So he literally bucked up their bottom line by $800,000. So his closing question is, would you like to see if we could do the same for you? So that's today's tip and how to pull it all together. Hopefully it was helpful. Next time we'll talk about the buyer's journey and where they are and where you are in the cycle. All right, until then, talk to you later. Bye-bye.